Hello, welcome to Pop Along RC, the RC car channel dedicated to RC car racing, but also we love a bit of grassroots racing with some ready to runs. And our favourite ready to run car, well, my favourite ready to run car at the moment is the FTX Apache. It is a great entry level car, really durable. This car has been used quite a lot over the last year. First outing was at the Car Killer, where we took it up against the Rokotan, but we have also taken it to several grass meets, and we also even taken it round an Astro off-road buggy track. More recently, we visited a local club who have lots of the Apaches running. One of the most popular cars they've got there at the club, and I had so much fun with it. I thought this car really deserves a little bit of TLC. Now, it's worth noting we've got the Apache, but we've also got the Rokotan, which is based on the same chassis, and there's also the Raminator, which shares many components with these cars. So this is a great platform, and it's amazing that FTX have now got loads of blue bling for these cars so we can upgrade them. So let's take a look at some of the blue bling that we've got here, and let's upgrade our Apache. It's worth saying with these upgrades that we have here that it's not just the Apache that these fit on. These will also go on the Raminator and the Rokotan because they all run off the same chassis design. So the first thing we've got here is the aluminium steering assembly. Nice bit of bling, that one. We have got here the rear hub carriers. Again, lovely little bit of bling. The upper rear suspension arms. Obviously on the original ones, they are adjustable turnbuckles, whereas these are going to be a fixed length one as they are alley parts. So there's probably a little bit more freedom with the original ones as opposed to those alley ones, but the alley ones look much nicer. The next thing we have got here, these are the alley front steering blocks, which is quite handy. Actually, on the Rokotan, because we've also got the Rokotan, that is the only part of the Rokotan that we've actually cracked where one of the balls has popped out of the plastic cup. But other than that, these cars have been really durable for us. The next part we have got here is a front shock tower. And then we have the alley shock tower brace. Then there's the rear shock tower, again anodized blue, and then the last couple of parts are these here, which are the front lower suspension arms and the rear lower suspension arms. So all in all, we have got quite a few components to get fitted to the Apache. So it's worth noting some of these parts are for the Apache. Some of them are for the Apache and the Rokotan, and others are for the Rokotan, the Raminator and the Apache, because they're all built around the same chassis, so therefore they share some of the components. Really looking forward to seeing how this car looks once we get some bling on this thing. So let's get back into the workshop and get this car set up. Okay, so here it is, my FTX Apache. Now, considering how much this car has been used, it is in excellent condition, really. It's been used in the wet, it's been used on dust, it's been used on the BMX track, and there's very little wear and tear on the car. But I've got lots of bits to replace on this, so I think what I'm going to do is almost take it all apart and then slowly build it back up. When I've taken apart this plate off the front, I've placed all the screws in the order that they came out, just to make sure I've got the right height ones where they need to be. I've got a couple of bent screws up the front here, that's where the bumper attaches, so I might have a look, see if I can replace those. Okay, so I've just popped the bearing out of here and placed it into this replacement part. And then what I am going to do is have a quick look at this. So the ball needs to go in like so. And then I think we need to put one of these little caps on the top, like so. And then next up, we need to screw one of these into the top. And there we go. So we just screw those in and they hold those, so we can then attach it to this. But I'm not going to be running these. I have got some of these that we're going to use instead. So here we have this side alley parts already installed, and then over this side we still have the plastic ones. So you can see the similarities and the differences. This stuff is just so nice though. I'm really liking the finish on the anodized stuff. Okay, when it comes to putting these things together, you have got obviously these cups with the balls in, and the way it works is you place the ball inside the cup, then there's a spacer, and then you screw the cap on the top. Now to actually screw this here into the arms, what you want to get yourself is a 2.5mm wrench. I've got the Fast Tracks ones here, and then you can literally just screw that straight in. And then what you have in here is a little grub screw. You can just make it out in there. You tighten that up once you've set the distance of how far in you want this. So here we have the original shock mount with original shock, and then over here we have the upgraded shock mount with the original shock. So all I've done is I have actually undone that screw. First of all, I've undone this bolt actually to take the shock off, and then I've undone this screw. You have to reuse this part over here. So as you can see, I've placed that same screw into this. When I took the shock off, I did take the opportunity on this one to clean it up and also refill it, and I've gone with, for this, some 32.5 weight oil, as that's just what I had on my desk, and I'm gonna go with that. This one feels like it's got loads of air in it, so I'll refill this shock as we rebuild this bit. Okay, so there we go. We have the front arms and front shocks onto the front shock tower. Really starting to take shape now. I've put a little bit of oil into the shocks, and you know what? It feels so much nicer. I do like a little bit of bling. Okay, next up we have the shock tower brace. So this is the original one, comes with 4 screws. And then here is the alley one, which I'm about to take out the bag, and that needs to be fitted just in here. So you've actually got the part there where the front bumper goes in here. So you'll have the long screws that will pass down through, holding the bumper in place. That is looking really nice. I think I could probably do with getting myself a nice new bumper. However, this car's not going to stay on the shelf. This car's going to get used. So I might as well keep running it until it's completely ripped to pieces. The bumper is there to get bumped, as they say. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the alley steering part versus the original part. Now, this one is hollow. You do get bearings and E-clips here, but we're going to have to take this part out, and that's the bit that feeds into the chassis just over here. I'm not going to lie, that was actually a little bit harder than I would have liked it to be, mainly due to, can't quite see it, it's these little E-clips that go on the end here. They were a real fiddly bit to get in place. Another thing you want to watch out for as well, just in there's a screw, sorry, there's a nut that you need to screw it in. So if you turn this upside down to screw in from the bottom, these nuts keep falling out. So it took a few attempts to get these bits in, but now it's all in place. It's all looking good. Okay, so as you can see here, we have got the original parts, adjustable turnbuckle, oil-filled shock, over to the alley parts, and the alley part is not an adjustable turnbuckle for the camber there. So what I need to do next is put these in place, and they are the rear hub carriers. So let's get these on, and that will be the rear end of the car pretty much done. So it's worth noting you have got two bearings. So you've got a large one on the inside and you've got a smaller one that goes on the outside. You need to take those out of the original parts and put them into the hop-up part. Look at that, finally done. So we have got all the alley upgrades for the FTX Apache. Again, most of these are available for the Raminator and the Rokotan, and I'm really happy with how it's come out. I've just had a little test on the shocks and they are looking really solid, working really nicely. So hopefully the next thing we need to do with this thing is get it out on the track and test it out.